Yeah, hopefully this is pretty informative for everybody. I'm going to be going over both basics all the way up to competitive level play for what works and what doesn't.
Cool.
You know,
I'm excited.
all the inside tips that I do to be good. So let's start off with inventory management. So inventory management is probably one of the biggest things that people don't take any time to really optimize. And what I found personally this is both pubs, PPC, PPL, or kind of everything, is running two guns. You want one kind of that long, super long range, and one either medium or short, whatever you prefer. And from there, you're grabbing just two bananas, and then harmonica if you're playing with a squad, over shields. And you actually want your team to also have another harmonica. Generally, dual or trio harmonicas are ideal, just because it saves you guys space for picking up other stuff. Oh, we're out of shields, we're in the end zone, we can't do anything. Yeah, I'm sure all of you guys have been in that situation before. That essentially prevents that. If you aren't playing with the team that just the 6 sodas is the best way to go, because it gives you the least amount of time before you can engage somebody, and you always want that option rather than having more health, because if somebody's rushing in towards you, you want the best chance that you have, because that's when you're going to die, not when you're 100 meters away and I need to heal up, and that doesn't matter if you have 120 health versus 150 for shields.
Right, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so 2 weapons, banana, harmonica prioritized over the shields, which is sodas. And I'm going to be sending this out to everybody as well for what I went over after this.
Okay.
And then from there, grenades are actually the meta right now. I don't know if this will change in the future, but generally 2 zone grenades is going to be the optimal thing to grab, and that's because if you're patient with them, you can stack 2 of them at once. I don't know if you guys have ever had that happen, where you're in a building or the zone's coming in behind you and people throw 2 zone grenades in front of you. You basically get to choose between die and die. There's no good option, and you want to force people into that position as much as possible.
Okay.
So that's kind of inventory management. Anybody got any questions or different styles that I can kind of critique?
So let's let's say you're in battle, Toyco, and you're on, let's say you're in one of your tournaments and you can't find a backpack, you're rushing across the map, you've got a strategy with your team that you're sticking to. What 3 items do you go for if you've only got 3?
1 weapon, bananas, shields.
Right, okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah, I guess I can kind of... Oh, go ahead.
In this case, would you take harmonica or shields?
Like I said, you always take a harmonica if you're with a squad that you play with, that you have the synergy. If you're just solo, take the shields.
Got it. And
what about frag grenades?
Frag grenades are a good secondary for zones. It depends. This is more of a team style question than anything. If you are much better at frags than you are with zones, pick frags. But I'm assuming that you're probably about even for both, as is most people. If you have 3 other teammates, this is what my team runs, is we'll have 4 frags and 4 zone grenades split between 3 of us, and we try to keep about that, just for the versatility with it.
Right, okay.
Do you ever play... Oh,
you can go to support.
I cannot hear you.
Can't hear you, Raz.
I can't hear you. Can anybody hear Raz?
No, I can't hear him.
They muted.
No.
He's muted himself.
Yep. All right, what's up?
do you ever play with 3 weapons? 3 guns?
No. No, 3 guns. So you could think of it like this. The versatility that you get with 3 guns, think about... let's take an example. What 3 guns do you like running?
I usually use 2, but I saw some people recommending having 3.
Okay, yeah. So 3 guns, the only time that would make a difference for whether you're winning or not is if you have an extra inventory slot open and you have like a gold in 10 that you're picking up because you're going into close range quarters potentially in the next minute. But as soon as you get something else that's priority in that selection that I gave, then you'd swap it out immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So
do you keep the knife?
The knife I'll keep for the exact same reason. As soon as I get something else that would replace the knife, I throw it away. That actually leads into the next thing, which is movement. A lot of people know that the better players like move around really quickly. They're hard to hit, and what that is essentially when you can build if you're in an open area, fling off of it and go somewhere, and always be going from place to place just to climb, even if it's just like a one-hand hop and then move. I'd actually like to kind of do this to see what different paths people take. Let's go all the way to tower. Go ahead and follow me, and you might be able to see a difference between the path that I'm taking versus the path you're taking normally to go somewhere quickly. So I'll race you guys over there.
Okay. Yes, got your ass. Can hear you.
Well, hello. You got the movement down, it looks like, pretty well.
Oh, thank you. Hello? Literally. Where's the thing?
Yep.
That's funny.
Yeah, so we both have pretty similar paths.
Yep, very similar style.
And you can see, like, I know you guys are really good players, but, like, everybody else has different movement patterns here.
Mm-hmm.
Only hit the roof 4 times, secret.
You're in your van?
Yeah, I'm in the camper on. I've got no room to climb.
Oh no.
Okay.
Can you not do it outside?
Absolutely raining.
So as you can see, generally the fastest way to get over is like find the tallest structure, climb to the top, and fly over. That's not always the best thing to do, though. Let me catch my breath for a second. So, yeah, I was trying hard. So when you're going in between another team and you need to move quickly, let's say kind of over there to over here, you can climb up to the tower and expose yourself, but generally the best is, find low-hanging structures because people don't look at that as much and just hover along it. So, for example, if this was the plains over here and somebody was sniping at me, what I'd do is just this. Continuously over. So, the person can't see you, but it's way faster than just walking anywhere. You should never be walking unless you're, like, sitting in a place that you're camping another team that's going to have to engage you. So, hopefully that makes some sense there. Anybody got questions for movement?
Yeah.
No?
And would you keep your knife with you at that point?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, yeah. You move
Say it
faster
again?
with a knife along ground, don't you?
It's
That's
actually
why I
faster
carry a
just
knife.
to grab and fly than a knife.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So the
if you're a
knife
knife
doesn't
and you're
make...
moving along, it's harder to hit you when you're able to, quickly change directions like this.
Yep.
Versus just, oh yeah, I have a knife and I'm running in a straight line. Always. So it gives you more versatility and more chances to not be hit.
Do you use jump glitches?
No, I personally can't. I'm on index, so no. But if you can, I'd say go ahead and do it as long as you know nobody is around. But the better teams you verse, the more you're going to get punished for using that in the wrong situation.
I think they can work against you rather than for you most of the time, can't they?
Right.
Yeah, when I was last able to do them, I was jumping up maybe, like for example, this one over here, about as high as the building, maybe construction at most, and then I'd start flying. Because if you're up in the air way far, you're just, oh, I need to dodge because people are firing at me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
the
weird. I
knife.
heard about that glitch yesterday too.
Oh, I still don't.
So the question was, do you use super jumps?
Did you use what, sorry?
Super jumps?
Super jumps? What's super
Yeah, like
You
the
don't know what a
plank.
super jump is?
Like the plank one?
Don't jump glitches.
Yeah.
Oh, this. I don't know where they are actually. I used to use them.
Yeah, there's one here.
Yeah, there's a billion around the map, but I'm sure all you guys are mostly aware. So what you do is you just push out to your
That's
head.
it.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Yep.
You got
That's
it.
Yep.
I've never used that in a game. Only ever in the
Yeah.
lobby.
Yeah,
honestly,
I've never used any in the game.
Yeah.
never.
I'd say if you want to, go
Once,
ahead and
I
start
think.
using them because it is good for movement if you can use them.
And other people definitely use them, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose if you're in a squad though and one person's using it, do you all need to really use it to get away somewhere? But
I've used it once, I think, in any game, and that was only to get to my squad.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yes, fair enough.
that's
Yeah,
a good
good
time
point.
to use it, is when
Yeah.
you know no one's around.
A lot
Alright,
of
So let's
times,
go over the next thing.
a lot of times players will use it just to lure you out. They know you're around somewhere. That they'll just jump up in the air so you can. They know where you are.
Yeah.
You can fire
Tempt
at
you
them.
out.
All right.
Sure.
So
Right.
the next thing is probably the hardest thing to do, at least consistently, and this is putting yourself in the winning situation. And this is also counterintuitive to wanting to improve. So to improve as fast as you can for anything, it's going to be put yourself in that situation continuously. So if you want to get good at clutching 1v3s, put yourself in 1v3s consistently, because that's the best way to get better. Is just like whenever you do something wrong, you're going to get punished for it. If you want to get good at a specific weapon, you run only that specific weapon until you feel like you're good enough with it that you're ready to go on. So if you know a weakness that you have, and generally it's hard to self-identify, but if you have teammates telling you, oh, you're not good at, SMGs or sniping or whatever, literally just run that for 200 to 500 games straight, and you will get good at it.
Yeah,
And sure,
makes
it's
sense,
like
yeah.
it seems excessive to do it, and it's uncomfortable as well, and your stats are going to dip because of it. But afterwards, they're going to go way higher because you put in the effort to help yourself in your weakness that you're getting punished for.
Yep.
That's really good, yeah. That makes
perfect
perfect sense.
Now, with that, putting yourself in a winning situation is mostly about knowing where teams are. If you just left-click on your map during a game, how often are you able to pinpoint all 7 teams? You probably almost never, right?
Yeah.
The best way to think about that is, let's say you have the platform start at the cemetery, Okay, and you go ahead and open up your map so you can follow me on this here as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you hot drop in cemetery, there's another team there. You go ahead and kill them, but where's everybody else? The most likely place is you're going to have, let's see, 3 or 4 teams in Complex Defiance Refinery, and then probably Outpost, Observatory Plains, maybe Armory. So now you know where everybody kind of initially is, and let's say the zone moves towards Outpost. You want to position yourself in the tower or try to engage Outpost, but generally in tower, because Complex Defiance Refinery teams are going to be fighting each other, trying to get into zone there, and you're able to go and third-party them at that point. Have the advantage because they probably aren't tracking where you are, but you know where they are.
So you want to cut off people. If 2 teams are fighting, you want to cut them off as they move to zone. Is that
exactly? So the best thing. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, it's just and I guess you kind of have to watch behind you, or.
Yeah. So specifically in this example, I picked the tower because that gives the most versatility for movement. You can go out towards foothills into farmlands, or you can go into outposts depending on where you're getting pushed from. But almost always you're not going to have teams hear you from outposts that are kind of looking and scouting all the way in Defiance. But if you see the team in outpost before you see the people in Defiance, you'd want to push through to farmlands. So you know that you have 3 teams in that Defiance area, and then 3 teams in that outpost observatory plains, and you get to choose who to engage based off of how the zone's going and who's going to be in the worst spot for that team to go into them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, I play with some really good players that they seem to know when somebody's near. Now, me personally, I'm deaf in one ear, so I'm screwed. If they're not in my left ear, I don't know if they're coming from the right. But how do people know when they're close?
That's a hearing thing. I don't have a good answer for you because I haven't played with one ear out.
Oh no, but say you got both ears. They always know that they're close. For me, I can hear people if they're in the left ear, I can hear them flying or something, but I don't know the distance that they're away. Is there any giveaway for that?
Turn up your volume a little bit if you can, because they will be quieter and if they're further away.
Okay.
Maybe turn your head slightly. I know I'll do that every once in a while where I hear somebody and it's like immediately look towards that direction to kind of.
Would you use headphones?
I do use headphones actually. I've never. Yeah. I'm not quick enough to realise that that's the only ear that I can hear. And so if I can hear them, they're on my left hand side. Yeah, that's retarded on my part. Sorry.
All right.
Maybe a good thing to do is just like continuously ping where you think they're about to be, and then correct based off of what you hear until you figure out like, oh, why am I off 30 degrees that way every time? Okay, just adjust for that.
Yeah, some people seem to know where they are. And I don't get it.
Another thing with that is most really good players are tracking where other teams are. And if you're playing with a squad in a competitive environment, you have 3 people doing that, so you're almost always able to go, a team is going to be here, and you're going to be right with everybody's information together.
Okay.
All right, and
so would you say then, Toyco, that's the winning formula? You think that's putting yourself in a winning position?
Yes. So if you know where the enemy team is, you're able to make a plan before you engage them. And Top 1 is all about consistency. And if you're able to consistently come up with a plan, you're going to be able to figure out what plans you have work and what don't, and then curate it to each situation over a long period of games.
Okay. And I guess, would you say you would recommend the same advice as what you did on the weeks part? So if you have a plan and you get it wrong, don't just bin it off. Just keep practicing the plans and changing it until you find that intuitive way that it works for you.
If you think it's a good plan and it was executed poorly, then go ahead and try it again. If you think it was a plan where the idea as a whole was wrong, then don't repeat it.
Okay.
And going off of that, the consistency part is a lot more. You don't want to be trying new things over and over and over. There's going to be only so many different ways to engage teams in this map, so you can make generalizations. If somebody is going to be up on the tower or up on a spire, you're going to engage them the same way. You're going to want to get close and make it so they have to drop off, where you get grenades at the bottom if they do that, or you shoot them out of the sky because that's punishing them for their poor positioning.
Okay.
But generally, the non-aggressive versus aggressive play, what I've noticed in the PPL specifically, the more aggressive teams win. And the more aggressive teams are defined as people that are closer together. So on average, if we're this close throughout the game, we're probably going to be destroying absolutely everybody if we're moving as a unit into teams with that plan in mind. Because even if a plan is wrong, if everybody is doing the exact same idea, you're going to execute it a lot better. So if somebody makes a call, do that call.
Okay.
And for aggressive play, this is something I've noticed for a lot of players that are snipers specifically. They'll hang back, snipe, look around, and they're not moving. They're not actively looking to take a better position. They go, this is a good position I'm in. And then another team is able to identify where they are and have 30 seconds to 2 minutes to get close to them and then punish them for being in one spot continually. You want to be able to go, okay, I'm going to snipe here, take a shot, move.
Yeah.
So if you aren't taking a shot or a sniper shot, or even if you got a CX4 from a different time, every single time you're looking to engage an opponent, they're going to be able to go, okay, waiting for you, ding, headshot, and you get screwed. Or they're going to be able to go frag.
Yeah.
And then you just die.
If you keep poking your head, peeking at the same spot, they're just waiting for you.
Exactly.
So would you say it's important to move forward and push with the team, even if you're a sniper and you need to hold back a little bit? You still got to keep moving all the time.
If you are in a team with two other snipers and you're the third sniper, you guys are playing the passive game, which is not the meta right now. So you want to take somebody down, and once somebody gets a shot, you do 200 damage. They're, okay, let's hide and heal. That's when you guys swoop in, and then they're forced to run away or engage you, and more often than not, they're not going to be coordinated. Specifically for high level, you need to do a lot more damage in order to engage, or kind of force them to run away on like the edge of the zone, so you can get them in a corner of a zone, which is the worst place to be because there's no way out, and hold them there, then kill them.
Okay.
If you can't kill them, relocate.
Yeah, exactly. And you really do want to pick your fight. So if you go, that team looks like they're going to go that way, and there's another team, try to pinch them. But if that team starts engaging you, and so does the other one, run away. It's not worth it. Just disengage, because you don't want to be 2v1.
Get flanked and fucked.
See, that's where I go wrong. I go Rambo style and just go, right, come on then. If you're coming for me, I'll come for you. And then it's like teammate dead completely. So it's knowing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's my tactic. I'll just steam in.
It's knowing when to disengage, isn't it?
Yeah. If your plan is ever, I'm going to shoot better than this guy aim-wise, it's not a plan. It just isn't a plan. Yeah, you're going to have to do that at some point, but if you don't come in with a plan where you say 70% of the time I'm going to beat somebody who is equal skill level with me, it's not a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
And And you always want to assume that the person that you're versing is as good or better than you. And
they're always
you
better.
And if you aren't doing that plan-wise, you're going to have a lot of issues with that consistency. But if you're a sniper main, 99% of the time, you need to play more aggressively. If you're a shotgun main, 99% of the time, you need to play more passively and disengage. So whatever people's preferences for weapon, that's probably it. For the SMG, it kind of a little different because it can be both ways, but the majority of the time, it's be more aggressive with the team.
Okay.
Yes, who was it? Mark. He's a fantastic aggressive player. He's pretty damn good, to be fair, isn't he?
Oh, Mark Williams, I love playing with him. Yeah, he's great.
He's straight in, no holds barred, no thinking. He does pretty good, to be fair.
Aggression.
Yeah, just straight in killing.
Go ahead.
Oh, is there kind of a meta right now for kind of team makeup, or?
Yes.
I mean, everybody's good at everything once you
yes.
get to a high level, but I mean, people have kind of a natural tendency, presumably.
Yeah. Generally, the teams that run triple SMGs are meta.
Okay.
Oh, really?
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
And the reason why is because SMGs have the most versatility. So if you want to hit somebody from like here to the wall and kill them in one clip, what weapons can you do that with? SMG.
P90.
Yeah, exactly. So, and generally,
2 clips for me.
here to the wall is the type of link that you're engaging in people, right?
Right.
Sure, you might be able to snipe far away, but once you get this close, SMG is the majority of the time. Every weapon has a specific range that they're best at. Also for looting, for any of the people that don't pick up a weapon immediately. If you see loot and you don't know what to pick up, you need to make a list. You can write it down or whatever. Of I'm going to pick a P90 up over an MP5 if it's the same star, and just follow that list every single time. Don't mix it up. You just want to have, this is my list of weapons that I prefer over whatever else.
Right.
And once you have that, stay consistent with it and do minor tweaks if you need to, but generally you should be able to have that within 100 games.
And just talking about the team, would you say it's good to play with varied players or stick with a squad and get to know them? Or does it up your game playing with other players as well, do you think?
So if you stick with the squad, you're going to get better at making plans and engaging. If you're going solo, you're going to get better at clutch situations.
Okay.
So whatever you're weaker at, do that.
Ah, okay.
But generally, it's more fun too if you just stick with the squad and you figure out each other's weaknesses. And the more somebody knows your weaknesses, the more you're going to be able to go, oh yeah, I need to work on that.
Yeah.
Rather than I played with some random person and they told me I suck with the Magnum. I didn't even use the Magnum.
Okay, that's good.
All right. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a total stats guy. If you're like, oh man, I don't want that kill-death ratio to go down or that win rate to go down, forget about it. If you improve, it will go up.
Yep, I'm not a stat guy.
It's a bit
You aren't a
late
stat
when
guy?
you're
That's
thousands
good.
of games.
I'm not a stat guy, no.
Okay.
I'm in the game, and then I'm not bothered if I get killed, I'll go straight back in again. You know, I don't look at how many kills you get in a week.
Awesome. So, anybody else have any questions? I went over everything that I had written down for this.
Yeah. In terms of the plan, when you're coming up with a plan to engage, it almost sounds like an exit plan or a disengagement plan is part of that plan, or
Absolutely.
How would you plan it if you we're going to attack someone, you, me, and somebody else? What would the plan be?
Okay, so let's pretend that we have the zone ending, the square starting at tower on the cemetery side, going to between plains and complex 33 and then all the way to farmlands and summit. Okay, and we have 2 teams Defiance, 1 team Summit, 1 team Plains, and that's what we're dealing with. All right. So we're kind of stuck in the middle of everybody right now. The best thing that we can do based on where the zone is we want to head towards Summit in some way. And if we have 2 teams in Defiance, they're going to be battling it out. Specifically, if we're in a tournament and we're down, we want to engage them for kills and then hit that Summit team afterwards. But if we're playing for the win, if we're trying to keep our lead or something like that, we're going to have to go through an open area on the road between foothills and farmlands. And actually, this is a good thing to do. Come follow me, guys.
Okay.
Keep blocking out.
Okay, so we're gonna have to go across this open space here. We have open space for the road in front of us. We have Summit team that is looking at us, and we have a Plains team that is coming in towards us. Defiance has 2 people fighting, and they're going to be coming behind us in about a minute.
And the zone's pushing us out? Sorry. And the zone's pushing us out.
So we have Summit guys trying to snipe us, Plain guys that are looking to engage us, the third party, and we have 2 teams from Defiance that are fighting, and that fight's going to end soon, and then they're going to come into us. The zone is going to end and be super small over at Summit's side. So if we rush through over here right now, we're going to get pinched, we're going to die. If we go that way, we might be able to third party, and then we're going to get pinched and we're going to die. So what's our option here? It seems like an impossible situation to like have an advantage, right? So what we need to do is use this hard cover for these rocks here and go into the Plains team. And if we get pushed out into the zone, we can flank around, and then we're not ever going to get third partied. Does that make sense? Because Summit guys are in a good position. They're not going to push. These guys, if they're pushing into us in about a minute, we have a minute to rotate around these other guys, and now they're pinched, even though it's in the zone.
Okay. And that's where your heals would come in on your inventory to get you through the zone, wouldn't it? Or if you got...
Exactly. You have the heals to get through. Also, if you aren't able to beat this team, you know, that's kind of a SOL, but as you can see, it's pretty level playing field over here as far as elevation. They don't have high ground. You don't have high ground. It's pretty even there. So that's your best option, because any other option that you choose is going to be much lower percent.
So would you generalize that as kind of punching into the weaker team and making sure you're not, the second battle's not in a bad position? Is that...
So generalizing, it's don't put yourself in a position where you can get pinched if possible. If there are multiple different ways that you're going to get pinched, engage the team that is closest to you.
Okay.
Because the faster you engage them, the less likely you are to get pinched.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Get rid of them. It's eliminate them. It's one less worry, and then you can look and remove, can't you?
Yeah. And what's nice about that is it's really easy to start going this way because that's where the zone is. But if you just flank around them, yeah, you're in a bad position because they have zone on you. But at the same time, Summit's going to start hitting them from behind as well. And then they're going to have another team that they have to worry about. And then they're like, oh, we need to engage. And they're actually in just as much of a time crunch as you.
Okay. Makes sense.
Specifically for plans for teams, though, it's always give yourself the highest percentage chance to win, assuming that every team is equally strong. Does that make sense?
Wins higher than kills, and you go for the win more than...
Yeah. You can also look at scoring. If you're some of the last teams, it might be better to go for placement. It might be better to go for kills. Generally, if you play for placement, the kills are going to come along with it because you're positioning yourself in a way and rotating to areas quick enough where other teams are going to be forced into a bad situation like this one more often than you are. So that consistency of we're not in a bad position is going to get you more kills and higher placement. And the teams that aren't going in with plans, they're just like, okay, we just need to engage this team. Okay, we just need to engage this team. And they're not thinking for the next step after that or the step after that step. They're going to place lower. They're going to have lower kills. And that's because they aren't doing some forethought. So that team over there is an example. What are you going to do after you kill that team? You're going to rush up farmlands as fast as you can because you don't want to engage this team and be shot at by both. They're getting high ground, so if these guys are swooping around, you're going to be able to engage them in a bad spot. And Summit team, if they're really, really good, they'll actually like push up towards the edge. So whoever's coming out of that fight, they just rush in afterwards and kill you. But that's kind of a clutch situation that you have to deal with.
Cool.
When you need to retreat from a pretty aggressive team, how do you do that? Do you build behind you? Do you shoot while you're running away?
The best thing that you can do is find hard cover and an open area that they have to go in. As soon as you hear flying or walking in that open area, beam them down, heal up, reload, beam them down from a different spot, and just do that over and over with your team. Or if you can, all three people come up at once and say, kill the blue PJ. And everybody fires at once, they're dead instantly.
Yeah. Okay.
So the more you can focus fire together, the more you can use hard cover rather than tiles, the better. And if you're forced in a position where you have to use tiles to run away, it's because your plan for retreat was not good.
Right.
So take that as a mistake, learn from it.
Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay.
In terms of looting up, like when you first launch off, I noticed like in a lot of our tournaments, we hit the ground, we start looting up, and then bam, we get run over. Is there probably because my guess is because people can position us, they know where we are, we're hanging out for a minute and a half. When you hit the ground, presumably you pod in a tournament, you hit the ground, do you run quick and just?
I do not stop. So I'll show you how fast I loot. Just come through with me. And you can see, like, kind of flying through that, as much hard cover as possible. And I'm not taking any time to loot. By the time I see the loot, I'm already deciding what I'm picking up and what I'm not picking up.
Yeah, you already know what you're looking for in your loot.
So yet again, that list of prioritization. If I see any weapons, I already know my inventory, I already know what I'm swapping out for.
What would your preference be?
When I can speak first time, how do you choose between which grenade? A class one is
prioritize
killing.
zone grenades over frags.
That's
my
one
recommendation.
Is killing and one is forcing somebody in a direction.
If you double stack zone grenades, they will die if they stay in it.
Yeah.
Your question again?
Was your preference on weapons?
Oh yeah, so I'm a consistency guy, so I do CX4 and P90. If you're a sniper, you know the annoyance of a CX4 from a good player. And you're usually going to get hit more than you're going to hit them.
It's accurate.
Yeah.
And you can one-hand it, I guess.
What's your setting for motion dampening and offhand influence?
I do 50%, 50%. I only one hand. It's all preference. Just get used to whatever you're used to. And if you remain consistent with it, you're good. There's not a huge disparity between the motion dampening from 0 to 100 if that's what you're acclimated.
Okay.
So will you change it mid-game while you're playing with different weapons, or do you keep it the same?
I keep it the same for everything because that's what I've adjusted to. But I know people like Samachi will adjust it for every weapon because that's what he's used to. Two-handing is obviously less spread, but if you're choosing weapons that have minimal spread based in the range that you're supposed to be engaging in, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So I'm not going to try to P90 from like here to the hills all the way over in Refinery. But that's a ridiculous example. Same with CX4. Like I'm not going to try to hit somebody all the way over there. I'm going to go, oh, there's a team over there. They probably haven't seen me. Let's go ahead and hide behind cover and go all the way that direction until I'm within the range that my weapons are good at. And if they're up there, they probably have a sniper, and then they go, oh man, we're getting rushed. Oh, it's 3 people in with them.
Yeah.
Within your team, do you assign kind of roles, or do you guys split up what you're going to be doing? Or do you just do what you're good at, and everybody does their thing?
So specifically for Vortex, me and Samachi shot call based on who's playing better that day, and we're able to determine that within 1 or 2 games. And after that, we have a third player, either Komodo or Jurt, is the sniper support, and then Samachi is kind of like the in-between the sniper and me, who is the aggressive player.
So aggressive is who's ever like the hot hand at the moment?
Yeah. Okay. Generally, if you have equal skills between everyone, if you specifically have somebody that loves shotgun, loves SMGs, and you have somebody that loves snipers and assault rifles, then they're going to have more defined roles. It's just like a specific dynamic to whatever your team.
Last com.
Cut out.
Yeah, we can hear you.
There we go.
Oh, did I cut
There
out?
we go.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
back. You're back.
Okay, yeah, so every team generally will have some people that overlap in some way or another, but they'll have mostly predefined roles on what they don't overlap people with. So if you have everyone running an SMG, 1 player running shotgun, 2 people running snipers, the person running SMG shotgun is going to be the aggressive player that's kind of like, okay, we're going this way, and moving in that triangle formation, they're in front.
Okay.
Because then everybody has about the same effective range. So when you see somebody, you can play with that effective range. That makes sense?
Well, what I've been doing in my squad is we've been giving each other roles, and what we do is every time we go into a game, somebody else takes the role of leader. So, which came from You Secret, and what we do is then they tell us which way we're going, what the plan is, everything, and then we just follow. So everyone gets used to kind of like taking that lead, but also spotting all those mistakes that we can learn from.
Yeah, that's a really good way to do it, because everybody being able to have that input as a potential shot caller is invaluable. You want everyone to have equal say, where one says, oh, let's go this way, and yes, a person can override, but generally people aren't going to make a call at the same time, and if that is, then the leader makes the decision, saying this way, and everybody does.
Yeah, cool. Good. Well, we're nearly time up. The room's going to close, I think, in a minute, Toyco, isn't it?
Probably. Let's see. We got 11 minutes.
Oh, wicked.
Okay. Sorry, back to looting. Like, say if you guys dropped into a place like Cemetery, where it's easy to kind of zigzag around, you kind of drop, essentially pick close to a line that's pretty tight. You might deviate a bit, and then you guys are just out of there? Is that...
Yeah, so when the zone initially shrinks, it's going to have like an edge on one of the walls. We beeline that way, because that's going to put us in the best position, but more often than not, because the zone will end towards that direction on the map.
Right. Okay. And you're not kind of like, oh, I'm going to run over behind here, pick up some stuff. It's really just kind of a
everybody
light variation as you guys run out, pick up what you can, but you're not.
Yeah, you just have, 2 people on outside, 1 person in the middle, and you all kind of like go together, and you don't cross paths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you hot drop in tournaments?
Yes, because we are an aggressive team, and people are too scared to hot drop. If everyone was hot dropping, we'd swap up our strategy. Generally, it's if we hot drop and it fails, we don't hot drop again. If we drop somewhere and it's because of where we dropped, we try to learn from our mistake that game, and we don't make that mistake again.
Okay.
So you only drop if it's you and one other team, or?
We will drop if we have good platform.
Okay.
So if we have the platform where we can immediately aggress on the other team, it's the good drop, and we head that way. If we get the platform where the other team can aggress on us, we don't.
Okay.
So it's always about that percentages for chance of winning. If you have an equal team that's aggressing on you, you're going to lose more often.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't put yourself in that situation.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
no.
One of the problems our team has is we lose, like when they have a Seiko battle, you're all in the three corners and everyone's walled up to the max. We're like not winning those fights. Is the best way to start kind of getting more AR fire on them, or should we turtle up and wait for them to get hurt? We want to be able to win.
Yeah. So it sounds like you got 3 snipers on your team?
We just can't beat them. We're not good enough to hit them. Even though we practice Seikos a lot, we're still like not always winning those fights.
Okay, so if you are going into somewhere where your idea is we need to aim better than them to win, it's not the right plan. You need to position yourself in a way where they're forced to make a mistake more often than not, or they're forced to choose between 2 bad situations, and then you take advantage of it.
Yeah, so if you're just face-to-face with them and it's even 50-50, then maybe we're doing something not quite. Yeah.
Yeah, as a team, we will never take 50-50 if there is a better way.
Yeah.
And we will always look for the better way. And if we just need to disengage, we will just disengage and go. There's no reason to burst this team when we're the first 2 teams in a tournament and we're not even playing for position. We're just playing for kills. Like, let's disengage, find a different way around, look for a different team. And if they're just rushing you the whole time, then you can position yourselves in a way where they have to go across open space, then you kill them.
Yeah. I think we've had good times when we disengage, and when we forget to do it, it turns kind of hellish.
Yeah, people just see a team and they go, oh, now we have to fight. No, you don't.
It has to be done, yeah. You get locked in.
Toyco, what would be a really good example of forcing an enemy into a bad position so that you can get the upper hand? What's the example of that?
Okay, so let's say we have a zone coming in from plain side, and it's heading towards refinery, and we have a team that has high ground on the rock over there. What we want to do is continuously lay down fire, use hard cover going around, and wherever they're going, we're just parallel with them. So eventually they have to come into us, or they have to hang in zone and take damage, which is what most teams will choose to do.
Right.
And then they're like, we're running out of time, and the more time somebody has, the more calm they are. But if you're in a zone, you're getting hit, and you're like, oh man, I don't even know whether I should res my teammate or go that way because these guys aren't quite over there yet. You're like, you're making a bad decision.
Right, got it. Okay,
So
makes sense.
It's all about, putting them under a time crunch. If you can put them under a time crunch or make them feel forced to go towards the corner of a zone, and that's another thing. If you are going into zone, you want to be kind of on the middle part of the box on any forend. You don't want to be on the corners because the corners give you the least amount of options.
Yeah. True.
If you guys have ever been like in a corner and then the zone shrinks in again, and you're just like, oh, it's on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah.
I'm screwed. Like, that's not the place you want to be in ever.
Okay. Makes sense.
Does anybody else have any other questions?
No.
Okay. Oh, you do?
Yeah, sure. I'll just keep asking if we can.
Yeah.
It sounds like you spend a lot of time thinking about what the other team is thinking about or likely going to do. A little bit of game theory, like poker almost. You think about other people's hands.
Yeah. If you weren't going, hey, the zone's ending over here, and there's 2 teams over there, and they're going to come this way, then you're just not using information that's there.
Right. So you're trying to guess what they're going to do
and then position yourself in a way where if they choose that, they're screwed, and if they don't, you can just drop back to plan B, plan C.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully this has been informative for everybody.
Totally.
It's been really good. Really helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
It's just good to reinforce information that you kind of know what's in the back of your mind, sort of thing. Just a bit of a refresh. Cause...
I get lazy. I don't know about you, Pam. I get lazy. Like I watch these guys and watch all the streaming and stuff and follow and support them, and I go, oh my god, yeah, I remember that. Then I'll go and do it for 6 games, and then I'll revert back and just get lazy.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Pick one thing, do it for 100 games.
Yeah, Anthony, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Whatever you know your weaknesses, do that for 100 games and make that your primary focus. Get better at that. And over the course of enough games, you're going to be so far and above beyond where you would have been otherwise because you're actively trying to do something.
Yeah. No, that's really helpful. Really appreciate your time. I know you've got a busy day today, haven't you? So.
Yep. I think
Thank
it's
you very
about
much
time
for
me
that.
to start doing
Thank you very
warm-ups.
much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good luck, Toyco. Good luck.
If you haven't.
I think I
Good luck,
already
Yeah,
have.
that'd be great. That'd be great, mate.
See you later.
Oh.